Namaste. Welcome to the Hindu Parenting Podcast. The Bindi or the Tilak is a very visible symbol of Hinduism. We all wear the Bindi or Tilak as a matter of habit. But what is the deeper significance behind it? Our guest today is Dr. Bharath Srinivasan, who has a doctorate in mechanical engineering from IIT Delhi and currently works as engineering and marketing head at a small company in Bangalore. Dr. Srinivasan was the founding director of the Indian History Awareness Group of Houston and is also the trustee of Prakriti Ayurveda Pratisthana. He has also worked with Sri Rajiv Malhotra of Infinity Foundation on many projects related to building the grand narrative of India. With experience spanning diverse fields and a strong knowledge of the Shastras, he is well placed to help us understand the Shastric underpinnings of our symbols like the Bindi and the Tilak. Namaste, Dr. Srinivasan. It's a great honor to have you on our podcast today.
Namaste. I'm very pleased and that you have given me an opportunity to speak about this topic, which is Bindi or Bindu. And so I'll start with a shloka, which I think is very relevant to this topic. Jnananandamayam devam nirmalasphatiकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानाम् अयग्रीवम् उपास्महे बिन्दोः नादसमुत्पन्नवः बिन्दोः नादसमुत्पन्नः samudute nade jagat karanam. The shloka basically says bindoho nada samutpannavaha. From the very bindu or the spot or which is called the sacred spot, okay, there is a nada which evolves, which is actually Omkara nada, and which together forms from there the entire Srishti or the entire universe basically evolves. It's to be understood that the center of the universe is everywhere. It's not that it is in some particular fixed location. It's inside you, it's all over the place. So you can reach the center of the universe, which is inside you. And that's what this shloka basically is telling. This is a shloka from the Tantra Shastras, which is, I think it is Sharada Tilakam. That's the source of this particular shloka.
When our kids and young adults ask us what is the significance of the Bindi or the Tilak, we are left with answers like it is a decorative dot. I mean, we need answers that speak to young adults more than saying it's a decorative dot or it looks nice or it's a fashion statement. What is it that we can tell them, an easy thing for them to understand and also represent our culture when they speak to people outside this civilization, maybe sometimes even outside India? We need to give them some kind of a anchor. Why do we Hindus wear the bindi or the tilak?
So I'll just, this word is bindi is also called bottu or pottu in Tamil, bottu in, I think, in Telugu. And it is also called as, it's also called bindi in Hindi. And it's also called as chukka in what do you call in Telugu, and it of course it's called tilak, which you all know. It's very quite well known, and there is a technical name also for this. It's called pundra or lanchana. These are technical shastraic names, and in Bengal it's called as teep. I think it's probably apabramsha, or I'm sorry, it's a deformed form of deep. It's called as teep. So nowadays you see that. So basically, when you use the word bindu or bindi, it basically means a point or a dot. And nowadays, women adorn it, not only now, even in the past. But it's virtually absent in men. But this was not true a few generations back. Even men were having adorning it, though the forms may be a little different. And that is the background on this to start with. It's considered as an auspicious mark. We will delve into it deeper. And so the shape of, as you say, is round and it's a spot. And there are many sticker bindis of various shapes also and colors also, which you see these days available to to suit a fashion requirement. And the if you there are many people who criticize this tradition. People say it's a beauty spot or a decorative spot. It's not criticized. People describe it as a beauty spot or a decorative spot or an ornamental spot. It's sort of a fashion statement, or another word called forehead tattoo. Uh, there is a very despicable criticism also of this particular bindi or bindu, that it is a mark of a woman's menstrual blood. Also, this is also some people have interpreted like this. And of course, it also in some of the Vedic texts, it is there is an indication of this. It's a part of a blood sacrifice to appease the gods. So it's a part of Vamachara, which is not very prevalent even in ancient India. It was very restricted to a very specialized group of people. So that is essentially the background of this Bindu. But when you say it's a beauty spot, essentially it is an inner beauty spot to which actually it is trying to indicate. That is the pure Paramatma Swarupa which is present in all of us. And this external bindu or spot leads us to from this outer world to the inner world, which is Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Swaha, Mahaha, Janaha, Satyam, that the Paramatma spot is there. Is been so designed, is been so constructed by the ancient rishis of India that it reaches us to the inner truth which shines in all of us. It's therefore called the Paramatma spot. It is not only a Bindu spot, it is not only a Bindu, it is definitely a beauty spot, but it is actually a spot which takes us to the inner beauty spot, which is inside us. And that is the Paramatma spot.
So where, I mean, do we have a physical location for this inner beauty spot? Is that why the
Yes,
bindi is, worn on the forehead? Is the inner
yes.
beauty spot located somewhere in that region, or how is that?
Yeah, the inner beauty spot is actually still above that spot. That is a spot where, the Ida, Pingala, Nadis, there are some inner Nadis, yoga Nadis, which are there, which actually merges. And as an yogi travels up the chakras, he has a lot of visions and he has a lot of experiences which we call as Devi Baba, or which is extraordinary or which is spiritual experiences he has. And then he does have a vision of this spot exactly at the Agnya Chakra, which is between the Bru Madhya, which is between the eyebrows. So that is a spot where the Bottu is basically, or Pundra, it is also called as Pundra or Lanchana, is adorned. It is adorned by both men and women.
So, would it be right to say that it's an expression of inner awakening?
It is true. It is an awakening. For a yogi, he is already awakened. And when he sees this, he is reminded again of that grand experience which he has already had inside himself. And so the rishis, for the other people who are way down the spiritual ladder, they have to climb up. They constructed or they, put together a culture and tradition such that everybody who sees this, his mind is purified and his mind is gently prodded in the direction of inner joy. So it's a vehicle, it's a medium to take you one inside to your own what do you call jnana center of jnana.
So basically, what you're saying is that even if you're not really spiritually evolved, this symbol, this bindi symbol, is a reminder to you that you can aspire to a higher state, and this is a means to get there. Are we saying that?
Yeah, it is. It is. See, if he's a samskari and a sadhaka, he's already, he is already a sadhaka because of his past tapasya, sadhana, or due to his sadhana and tapasya of this birth. A person who is in that marga, when he sees, he gets benefit because of that. A person who is not at all in this marga and who is alien and who may not have samskara, it may not have a big impact. Yeah, okay, but it is people who are in the atma marga, as well as in the who want to benefit not only by the ananda of the atman, but also the bindi should give the benefit of arogya, aishwarya in this world. Both it should solve. So the culture of the Maharishis are that Iha and Para both are achieved by this medium of Bindi or Bindu or Bottu. Did that satisfy your question?
Um,
Yeah, it does. It does. Because I
yes,
think I think our listeners are perhaps knowing for the first time, that it signifies a very deep meaning to wear a bindi. I think if we can awaken that sense in our
correct.
listeners, it's a first step to reclaiming the bindi and wearing it for not just ornamental purposes, but for a deeper reason, a deeper foray into your spiritual evolution, which I think most of us are aspiring to, whether consciously, unconsciously. We all want to evolve. So I think this explanation does help uh, at least orienting a person towards looking at the bindi as more than just an ornamental feature, on the face.
It is,
Yeah.
in one way, it is an ornament. It is an ornament of the Paramatman which is inside us.
Mm.
It is just not a physical ornament alone. It should look good. It should arise in us a Deva Bhava, and it should purify our mind on seeing it, and it should also give us arogya, and it should also give us other benefits, because this medium should not be just a mere symbol, an inanimate symbol. The symbol is an organic symbol. It's an organic symbol, in the sense it will give you shanti in all the three planes, namely the physical plane, the plane of the gods, and the plane of the Paramatman. So that is how the whole thing has been designed by the ancient rishis of our land.
When you speak of Arogya and Aishwarya as the benefits, how do we understand this as the placement of the bindi giving us a direct physical well-being in terms of good health and a mental well-being? Is that the way to understand this?
Yes, see, basically, there is a vijnana. Vijnana is interpreted as science, which I think is uh, a very restricted translation of vijnana. However, assuming that there is a science behind this bindi, it has got a akara vishesha, means a shape. What should be its shape? What should be its color? What should be the ingredients to be used in the bindi or the bindu or the pundra, and what should be its size? So we call this akriti vishesha, dravya vishesha, varna vishesha. What should be its color? Akara vishesha, and sthana vishesha. Sthana vishesha is where you are actually adorning the bindi or the pundra. So and it should be such. So these are all part of the tantra area. Means tanu means body or sharira, and tanu vistare means it's a part of the tantric domain, where it is connected to your body and it's a part of the body and bhautika sharira. Then there is the mantra part of the bindi. Every day, uh, we wear the bindi after washing our face, etc. It should be done with there is a mantra which is associated with that. And also, it depends on your type of the devata you are worshipping, whether you are in the Vishnu Vaishnava Marga or Shaiva Marga or Shakta Marga or Ganapatya or Saura, etc. So there is a puja bhava behind the very act of adorning the bindi or bindu or the urdhva every day as a part of your life. That's so we can go further into the how the very sight of a bindi or bindu has an impact on the person who is seeing it. So basically, as I told you, it has got a vijnana behind it, that the dravya vishesha, what should be the type of material which is there for this bindu, this bindi or bottu or urdu pundra is. There are first is kumkum or arishna kumkuma or turmeric is one of them. It could be also be some special type of mritika or mud which is available, which was in the sea, in the banks of the rivers, or at the at the root of some special trees which are there in India. We call them devata vriksha. It should be at the root of the at which are those mritika or mud which is there, which is a part of the which is at the very root of the trees. That also is used. And also there are some special mountains which are there in India. At the very top there are some special mud which is available these days. We have lost all those traditions, but that was how it was done earlier. So all that is used as and of course Ayurveda dravyas, special kind of herbs, and all mixed together to make this bindi, such that it does not affect your skin. It suits your prakriti. People have different prakriti, vata prakriti, pitta prakriti, shleshma prakriti. Depending on that, the dravya mixture could be slightly different. So we use that so that you attain nadi shuddhi in yourself. So that's how the physical effect or bhautika plane, the changes are induced by the dravya of the bindi.
So this is almost like saying the type of material that is used for the bindi has a direct well-being on your physical health. And I assume this was prescribed by an Ayurvedic Vaidya. Was that how it worked? If each person's constitution is different, then how would they know what suits them? And which shastras talk about it? How was this done in the past?
The Ayurvedic physicians, in addition to the traditions which are coming in the in making the dravya which is required to make the bindi or the pundra, is that was coming as a part of their as their family traditions. It used to come in their families, from father to son, from mother to daughter, and so on. And in addition, the Purohita, who is of the family, and the Ayurveda, uh, what do you call, Acharya, were also consulted to what should be the other dravyas which should be combined. For example, you have sandalwood is a very important dravya, is a part of this pundra dharana. It is supposed to cool your mind and give shita, make you things calm. Very important ingredient. So that's how it has been used, because it's a very important part of your upasana of the devata. If you see Vishnu is always with a pundra. You can see, he's got a lanchana on his forehead. Similarly, Shiva has also got a lanchana on his forehead. Yogis, when they see the law, when they in the yoga marga, uh, like, Sahasrare Mahapadme Shivena Sahamodate, Sahasrare Mahapadme Krishnena Sahamodate. When they have a darshana of Lord Krishna or Lord Rama or Lord Shiva inside them at different chakras, they see the gods with the pundra, with the lanchana, with the bindi. They see in their foreheads. So they simulate the same thing outside so that they don't lose contact with the world of the devas and devatas. So that is why Bharata Bhumi is called the land of gods and goddesses. You see, they built a culture such that we not only live in the physical plane, we also should live in the plane of the devatas. We have to be in touch with them because they also exist in a different space time. But by contact with them, we have a better life, a life of, and then further deep is the Adhyatmic plane where Paramatma, Paranjoti resides. So, therefore, the Bindi Akara is not only round, it is also Urdhva. You have three lines going up. It can be a triangle. It can be it can be three horizontal lines. It can be similar like that. There are different shapes which are all very closely connected to Yoga Marga. But these days, a lot of women to suit their color. Regarding color, I'll come later. These days, there are a lot of shapes people use, but that is okay. Then you can call only it as a external beauty spot, which is limited, which has a limited reach. Whereas the form of the pundras designed by our rishis, which are brought forth by our rishis, not designed, brought forth by our rishis, have a direct yogic connection to your inner state.
Coming back to that question about, what is the effect that seeing a bindi has on the observer? What is the
Mhm.
effect that it has? Uh,
Yes, it has. See, the following effect it has. First is, if the first important thing to note here is, if he is an observer who is not at all, who is always in the physical plane, and who doesn't recognize anything which is beyond the physical plane, that the human body is only bones, flesh, and muscle, and nothing beyond. So for him, it may not have any impact. He is a sthula drishti only he has. So if one develops sukshma drishti and also paradrishti, of course, if he paradrishti is, you have to do a lot of yoga sadhana to develop paradrishti. Then by very sight of that, he will go into a trance. That happens. That is quite there. Such kind of incidences are there in the Puranas. Like by seeing Bhagwan's Murti, which is also a medium. Similarly, this also is a medium to take you to the higher states of Samadhi, and you enjoy bliss of the Supreme Being when you are here alive and have a full and complete life. In that case, for him, by the very sight of this Pundra and Bindi, he will be pushed into the yoga marga and he will have darshan and enjoy many things inside, which is the great treasures locked in the human body. That's why the human body is celebrated in our ancient land as Dehaha Devalayaha. It is really a temple. It is full of beautiful things. This external physical frame is, it's not, you shouldn't limit yourself to that.
You mentioned the yoga drishti, the ability to see beyond the physical symbol of the bottu. So, are there other drishtis? You did mention the tantric way to understand this, the Vedic, the yogic, the tattvic. I mean, is this a fair categorization?
Yes, it is. One is Stula Drishti, it has no impact, as I told earlier. It's But if the Tantric Drishti is, it is from, you see, as I said, Tanu Vistare. Tantra means it's something connected directly to your body or Sharira. So, on the tantric level, it has an impact on your body in the sense that it can purify your nervous system, means in the sense nadi, it can purify one's nadi. It can calm one's mind. It should be safe to your skin, and helps maintain sharira arogya as per ayurveda. And it has got a direct link to the devata, or the your kola devata, which is there in your family. So that is in the tantric drishti. From the tantric level, it is all those things are there. Then you have the yoga drishti or devata drishti, where you do see those as you keep upasana in that direction by adorning those lanchanas or pundras or bindi or bindu, whatever you need to call that, you can call it. You are progressing in that direction, and you develop yoga drishti because of that. Continuous sadhana and practice and being in this world and carrying out your duties at the same time, ensuring your spiritual progress is also there. So both are parallelly happening. You need not leave this world. You are part of the whatever you need to do for your livelihood. At the same time, your yoga drishti is also developing inside. So there's a yoga drishti. Then, as your yoga drishti matures, you get paradrishti, where you directly see, when you see the very bindi outside, it simply transports you to the Paramatma, which is inside you. So it has got three levels depending on the adhikara or capacity of the person who's seeing it and who's adorning it. The same person who's adorning it can be a yogi himself. So he himself, when he sees in the mirror, the moment he sees it, he gives his remembrance of the Paramatman which he had darshana inside, and takes him back to the same place. What is the tattvic significance? We had the yogic significance, which we discussed earlier. The tattvic significance is, see, the human body is made of some 24 odd tattvas, and so all these tattvas, which are the basic building blocks of the human body, uh, which is the rishi drishti of the human body. It's not that the rishis were not aware of the bhautika sharira, which we all know. It's got a heart, it's got a nervous system, it's got a skeletal system, it's got a reproductive system, it's got so many other subsystems. So that's the modern classification. But then the human body, which is called devalaya, which was hailed as a devalaya by the rishis, Deha, Devalayaha, is nothing but a temple where the gods reside, and therefore you should get in connection. You should get connected to them. Therefore, there are the Tatvika Drishti is at many chakras which are there. For example, Ganapati is seen in the Muladhara chakra. In fact, there's a very famous Carnatic song by Tyagaraja, where Ganapati, he says he's seen in the Muladhara chakra, and he's seen in a triangle within a flame of within a triangle, which is like a light, a triangle light is there in the Muladhara chakra. He's seen there. So many, from a tattvic point of view, and this is just one example. So people also wear pundra, which is a triangle in shape. So because if he is a Ganapati Upasaka, this was there quite some time before. I don't know whether it's been, because many of these traditions have become not extinct, as people have not following. These things are all there eternally inside our system, our body, in nature. Is only we have moved far away from it, and we are more anchored in the physical plane than in the other planes which we need to anchor ourselves. So that is the sort of tattvic drishti you have. There are many other. As we keep going, maybe my answers are a little bit mixed and not totally compartmentalized, because we can't do that. And as the Puranic drishti is concerned, see, in the Puranas, regarding this, there are so many shlokas and incidences about the Pundra and its it's Mahima, Mahima Mandala of Pundras, There is a shloka which I don't want to, say it's too technical. That the Puranas, the Bhagavad Purana, for example, says about the Urdhva Pundra, which is born by the Vaishnavas, that the very sight of it removes papa in your body. See, papa is nothing but some kind of a mala or dirt in your mind, which if all papas go away, then automatically you will see Paramatman inside. The fact that you don't see Paramatman inside, even though we've been hearing it for many janmas, we read these books, we do tapasya sadhana. It's not easy to remove these papas so easily. Either you have to have the grace of a great yoga or a guru or a teacher. So the rishis have all tried all to bring a culture such that every jivatma somehow reaches Paramatma. And so they brought out a culture or a way of life, okay, a way of and a set of languages and art, architecture, music, drama, in such a way that somehow the jivatma reaches Paramatma. And how do you do that? Somehow the mind has to be purified. So they have, so on a dravya plane, on an dravya means on substance level, on a dhvani level, which is the music or bhasha, on a touch level, which is dravyas, and so on, and a drishti level, which is the sight. They have brought up forms, substances, eating habits, etc., such that it somehow destroys papa in you, and you are able to see Paramatman and know that you are full and complete and eternal. And a very in the very core, your joy is your Swarupa. Ananda is your Swarupa. So the Pundra which is there, they brought it in such a way. In Puranas, it is said, the very sight of Purana destroys all sins in your mind. Even if you are wearing it in a lackadaisical fashion, just because somebody told you wear it, or you are wearing it just you are and you are uttering the whatever name or mantra which should be uttered while adorning the pundra or the bindi, you are just doing it mechanically, or you are making fun and doing it. Okay, still it will take your mind in the direction of the Paramatma. This is how it is. The pundra is and the bindi is, extolled in the Puranas. So this is the so from Pauranika, there is plenty. Is there in each Purana? There are 18, Ashtadasha Puranas are there, and regarding Pundra, you will find no copious amount of material extolling its virtues. It's essentially tries to remove the papas which are accumulated in us, which keep accumulating every second as we keep living. It's just like in a house, dirt keeps accumulating. You have to keep cleaning it every day. So same way, your body needs cleaning every day, not only physical. Physical dirt is removed by soap or whatever. That's not a good example. So whatever you do physical, but how will you remove the mental dirt? It's very subtle. Mind is a very subtle organ, and it's not easy. And people can go, things can go out of hand. If things go out of hand, how do you separate a mind? It's so difficult. People can get mad. So the yogis and jnanis and acharyas, books and traditions, so gently it is done. Anything done very fast will create turbulence and can make things go out of hand. So on a samajik level, on a global level, they bought a set of traditions so that gently these papas are removed. So very sight of Urdhva Pundra or Bindi removes, uh, removes Papa in you.
Okay.
Today,
So
most of
let
us
us
wear
circle back to to the color of the bindi. We briefly touched upon it, but I think we need to sort of elaborate what are the acceptable colors for a bindi. If you can shed some light on that, that'll be good.
And
Sure.
one more thing I'd like to ask at this point. See, today we are accustomed to using either the round bindi or the tilakam, which is a vertical. But I'm sure there are many more colors and shapes also. If you could tell us a little bit about those, that would be helpful.
Sure. See, regarding the color of the bindi, it is like molten gold. That's what Hiranyavarnam Harinim Suvarnarja Tasrajam. That's what the Vedas declare. It should be when when yogis go and have a drishti of Paramatma Jyoti, that's the color they see there. The same color they try to replicate here. Any other color, there are other colors, of course. There are colors which are, for example, the people in Bengal, depending on the seasons, they change color: white, yellow, blue, okay, and so on. So that is definitely has got a some level of tattvic significance, but the highest yogic significance, which is I will call as mukhya tama, are very important. Is it should be tapta, like tapta jambu means what do you call molten gold color. That's why we use sindoor, kumkum, and those kind of dravyas. I've talked about what should be the material. Its color should be the final material which you make at your home. Preferably at your home, if you can make it is fine. Of course, it may not be possible these days. It was done only at home once upon a time. Which should be that color.
But if
I
you
should
see
say
in the kung,
gold and red, probably gold and red, arshana, etc. We can use.
oh, golden red. I was just going to say that the kumkum nowhere resembles molten gold. It is red in color, no? So there's
Yeah,
no.
red also is okay because sometimes molten gold, depending on its temperature and so on, there is some, it is have some yellowish red. So red is fine. That color is okay. I mean, it suits the purpose for which the rishis have, they have given the specification for this. So it suits that specification. So there is a specification for the Urda Pundra or Bindu and so on. There are a lot of granthas available in Sanskrit granthas or Sanskrit texts which are available, which specify all these things. What should be shape, color, type, and so on, where it should be adorned, and so on. For women, it is there at the Bhrumadhya. So the color is important. Any other colors are there. As I told you, the Bengalis and Assamese do wear other colors. And it is also has a yogic significance. But the deepest significance is this color. And that's why it's so commonly used. You see maroon, no? Red maroon, reddish maroon, or in that color. In fact, the color is, Gomedaka. Have you seen Gomedaka? Yes, it is hesonite, garnet stone.
Okay.
That's got
Garnet.
a color.
Okay. Yeah.
Garnet stone. Hestonite.
Oh,
These are the English names for it. Gomendaka. That color. This is what Rishi say, use this color.
I see.
This color it should be. It should come to that color. Your ingredients and coloring agents, as per the Ayurvedic principle and whatever has come in your home is a parampara, that finally the color should be like this.
okay.
Because that also has an impact on your mind.
Okay.
For example, the color of the Vishnu Pundra is white. There's a white, you have a white outer border, and there are three rekas. Inner one is the Sri Churna, which is the same color as the Bindu, and then as Bindi, and the outer one is the Vishnu Pada, which is leg, which is called as Vishnu Pada. We'll come to that a little later, and that is white in color because it depends on the Devata also. Vishnu is Sattvic Devata, and therefore white color is preferable for his Upasana, and therefore you wear that. So that is regarding color. In fact, there are other colors also. Yellow is also acceptable with this Chandana. Chandana is yellow color. Red, I have not seen green. Black is also there, but I don't, right now, I don't have full information on that. But those are the colors which are there. And of course, all that, these are the acceptable colors as per the Yoga Shastras.
Yeah, you spoke of gold color, which is very interesting because we see every other color these, but we didn't know that there was something like a gold color. How was that made? I assume it is not, it is nothing to do with the actual gold metal, right?
No, the gold metal is very auspicious metal. Rishis have declared it. Why should gold be? You take just think about why should gold be so valuable? It's also made of some few atoms, protons, neutrons, and whatever. It's the same thing. Only thing it's combination. The number of protons, neutrons, and electrons are different. Otherwise, it's the same material. Why it is so? Why should you value it? You can say, you can give a lot of physical reasons, like it doesn't corrode, it may, it doesn't easily corrode, and it is shining. All these are physical reasons. And then you see, gold is a very auspicious metal. It's very sparsha, and especially you're on your skin. And when you put a mala or mangala sutra made of gold, it has got a very great impact on your mind body system. It is so it is a highly sattvic metal. And the nadi gati, if you check your nadis and test your nadi with gold, it is the best. And it is mangalakara. It finally takes you just like a bindi or a bindu with that shape and color takes you to the Paramatman. Gold also does the same thing. That is why in our country gold is celebrated like anything,
Mhm.
because it's a metal which is close to the Paramatma, unlike iron, which is far away.
So, what makes gold so special?
That's why I told in our country, the gold is so special because it takes us it opens the spiritual doors which are locked and rusted in your body.
Mhm.
It simply opens them. So people invest in gold. In any temple, why they putting so much of gold? Bhagavan is Nitya Tupta. He is ever satisfied. He doesn't require anything. Why you should put gold on him? And
Mhm.
somebody comes and loots it anyway. That's another problem. But the fact is that that increases Bhagavan's Sanidhya in that place. You understand? There is a Sanidhyam. This the divine presence is enhanced by the presence of gold
Mhm.
and diamond and other materials like silver, brass, copper, these materials, not iron. Iron is not, it's not that iron is tyajya. For some special purpose, we use iron also, as part of cooking. But generally, these metals are very, very important for upasana. And for Arogya, Ayurveda, there's a separate story. So that is why, coming back to the bindi, color should resemble that color.
Okay.
And what should be size? It should be the size which is exactly as worn by a jnani. As a great jnani, he should specify the size. It cannot be, some of these communist, communist, feminist communist followers in India, they wear huge bindis. You can see that, right?
Yes.
You must be aware of that. I
Yeah.
mean, they do that as it's a decoy. Basically, it's, try to, confuse the Hindu. Okay, they do that. And that's okay. That they do that. That's a different battle. But the akara is very important. There's a standard for that. And that standard, only a jnani can tell what should be the exact akara, how much should be its size, etc. Similarly for a pundra and so on.
So that is dependent on your prakriti, is it? So a jnani has to tell you what is typically okay for your sort of prakriti, basically. I think that would be
Prakriti,
the
your
word.
vritti, your prakriti, your profession, your vritti, if you're a kshatriya, you're a brahmana, you are some whatever, depending on that. It depends on that also. You're a stri deha, purusha deha, sukshma vityasa is there. Anyway, it's very, since jnanis are very rare, general traditions which are there are general by and large is a good guide. Okay. fine change. If you have the fortune of meeting a great jnani who understands, he may be a jnani, but he may not be a jnana vijnani. There's a difference. He may be a jnani, he must have seen Paramatman. But how all this is leading from the Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, Adhyatmika, and what are the Tattvika drishtis which are there, he may not be aware. So he may be a jnani, that may be true. But he may not be having the Tattvika drishtis which are associated and the signs which are associated with these principles of these symbols, or I would say lanchanas. So we should get such a person. He only can tell, okay, this should be the lanchana size, this should be, because he sees it inside himself. You see, he sees it's so clear, it's visible to him. So all this you have to do so that you're happy, you're not only happy in the internal world, but you're happy and you are having triptikara life, satisfactory life in the external world. And you are having children, grandchildren. Our rishis were all nobody was sannyasi. Most of them, very few were sannyasis. Most of them had children, grandchildren, etc. You have to live full, squeeze the lemon of life to the full. You have to live both internally and externally. Yogaratova, bhogaratova. You have to be yoga bhoga samyam in life. You have to have both yoga and bhoga of life. If you have only bhoga, you are a pashu vritti. You are a pashu. If you have only yoga, you are a sannyasi. But if you have yoga and bhoga, you are a good grihastha leading a life of dharma. So both should be satisfied. So the item is whatever bindi or bindu or pundra you wear should destroy your papa, must give you benefit in this external world, in the world in this in the Iha world of Iha, or in the world of Bhautika world, and also should give you benefit in the Adi Daivika world, and should give you benefit in the Adhyatmic world. So it should cover all these three realms. Only then it is a Vijnanakara.
You have repeatedly mentioned the terms Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, and Adhyatmika. Just for our listeners who may be beginners on this path, Adi Bhautika would be something to do with the body, Adi Daivika with the Devatas, and
Yes.
Adhyatmika, your own internal drishti. Is that correct?
Adi, you are correct. The only thing is Adhyatmika is the plane of the Paramatman, or this which is the source and substratum of the universe. The Paranjyoti Paramatma, Paramapurusha, Parabrahma, all these are these terms apply to the Adhyatmic plane, the plane of your Atman. The human body is classified in our ancient Shastras, okay, by these three realms, Sthulam, Sukshmam, Param Cheti, Trividham, Brahmano Vapuhu. Sthulam, which is in the Adibhautika plane. Sukshmam, which is in the Adi Daivika plane. Param Cheti, which is the Adhyatma plane. You are all these three together. Not only this, a tree, if you see a tree, it has also got all these three things. The only difference with the tree or any other pashu or prani which is there is that the human body is balu doddadu. Manava deha balu doddadu. Why? Because you can do dhyana, tapasya and reach the Paramatma. Not other prani, pashus which are there. You are also a prani, you are also a pashu. No doubt. In one sense, because you have prana running in you, in your body, and maintaining your breath and so on. Same things, prana in a very different format is there in all these, from ant to an elephant. All that is there, no doubt. But the human body is so precious, nothing more precious than that. So all these three constitute our vision of the Srishti itself. So your life should be such that all the three planes, you're able to move around in all these three planes without any hindrance. So if you lose contact with those Adidevik and Adhyatmic plane, then you don't have a Paripurna Jivana. Then you have a Bandha Jivana. You keep on going, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, these things keep happening. until you break free of these things.
I think you've given us a great perspective on the deeper layers of meaning that we need to start thinking about when we just look at the bindi or the tilak. I'd like to ask you at this point, is there a message you have for our audience, uh, mainly parents of Hindu children, practicing Hindu families? What would you like to tell them specifically with respect to the topic of the bindi and tilak?
Very good. I think it's a very good question. Every parent must first maintain the traditions which have come in their family from generation to generation. They should not abandon it. First thing, and follow as much as possible, because children will not follow if you don't follow. You need to live a life of a Sanatani Hindu. First thing, as much as possible. It may not be possible in some places, but wherever possible in your homes, you have to practice those things and wear these pundras as per your tradition. You may be a Shaivite, I may be a Vaishnavite, you may be a Shakta, you may be following Ganapatya traditions, you may be following Saura traditions, which is Surya Upasana, or in some other. So you have to follow this, you have to wear it in your home at least. If you cannot go to your office with Urdu Pundra, or for ladies it's fine these days, at least they wear bindi. But men, Shunya Lanchanam, Shunya Lalatam, I'm sorry. Terrible. Situation is really terrible for men. They have left and gone so far away. It was not true when I was young, maybe some 30, 50, 60 years back. Even men were having a bindi, lanchana. Maybe form is different. The akaras may be a little different compared to women. For women, the akara is bindi. Some small changes may be there here and there, depending on the pradesha, which is the region of India. But otherwise, everybody was having some kind of lanchana or mark on their forehead. It is not a caste mark. Please remember, that's a very derogatory term people use. Okay, it is not a caste mark. It is a mark of the Paramatman. It is a mark of a Mahadevata, Devadeva, Mahadeva, Shiva, or Mahavishnu, or Ma Prakriti, what do you call, Ma Durga. What it is, and it is anybody. He can be any person of any community who's a worshipper. He will wear this. If it comes as a part of his tradition, his family, he will have it. It's got nothing to do with caste. So I would request all parents, elders in the family, not to abandon tradition, live a life of Sanatani, celebrate all the festivals which are there as a part of your tradition. Do not abandon it. It is not a, don't think it is a big, burden on you. Enjoy it and set an example to your children so that they will take the step forward. It's all, after all, what is the purpose of all this is everybody should reach Paramatma. That is the goal of the rishis of this country. Everybody somehow or other, must reach Paramatma. In whatever stage they are, somehow they have been nudged into this. And otherwise they will go Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janam, go on. It's going on endlessly for, I don't know, lakhs of births, millions of births are going on. So the rishis, out of karuna, great daya, put in a culture and tradition in place that somehow whoever is the person, somehow reaches that supreme being who is the center of this universe and who is your center and who is your closest relative, closest friend, ever there, inside you, always there. Unlike even he is the parents of the parents. Yandai, Tandai, Tandai, Tandai Tan Muttappan, as in Tamil they say. So to get in touch with them is the whole aim of rishis of this land. They brought in all these cultures of so many types, depending on the people. Some people are suitable for Shaiva Upasana, some people are suitable for Shakta Upasana, some people are suitable for some other type, and there are also other very, very, very treacherous ways of Upasana. I will not go into that. They're called Aghoris. So their Bhasmadharana is Chitta Bhasma. They put Chitta Bhasma on themselves. Chitta, corpse, the bhasma of corpse is put as that. We can talk about those technical things of from different traditions which are there, Vaishnava tradition, how it is, how you have to, wear adorn the Urdu Pundra, and how many spots. There are many spots where you have to observe. It is called 12 spots. There are 12 places in your body where you have to wear the Urdu Pundra, where you adorn the Urdu Pundra. And what are the names of a mantra you have to recite at that time? What should be its length, akara, color? Depending on the Devata Darshana there, you have to wear it. Similarly, for Shaiva, it is Ekadasha Rudra, and the Bhasma is made out of Yajna Shesha. Whatever Yajna you do, so you put Samit, you put Havis, and you perform Yajna, and whatever Bhasma comes from that, and you chant a lot of mantras for that, and then from that, this Bhasma is made, which people adorn in the Shaiva tradition. Like that, there are we can go into those things in detail. I think they are too technical, which we can have a separate discussion on that. But the big picture is what I told you is important. It is not something fished out of thin air, and just for the heck of it you put something bindi, and that the tradition is has not come like that. It has got such a deep, such a profound, sublime, sophisticated, eternal significance and organic significance. It's just not a symbol, just which has got no connectivity to Paramatma. It has got a direct connection to the Paramatman which is inside you. Direct connection. They have made it in such a way. You see, the rishis have, put it in such a way that it sort of gives you benefit in all planes of existence. Your physical plane, your and put it in English, the supra-physical plane, and beyond that, the Paramatma plane. It is it's so deep, And if
Yes,
you're not
indeed.
in the yoga marga and you're not connected to the tradition, you'll never understand it. That's okay. You're just like any other alien person, a very Westerner who has never come into contact with the Indian civilization. He will not get any idea of course, if he's a samskari and by mistake he is born there, though he may have done a lot of tapasya purva in his previous birth, it may be a different story. There are people who are, a lot of people in the West as well as in other parts of the world, who are rarely have great samskaras, and they come seeking to India, and they like all this. So because he's a samskari, but a person, she may be wearing sari, everything here, but she may not be a samskari. Though she is wearing bindi, everything, she has got no connectivity. It's just like a fish which is in the Ganga. He doesn't know anything about Ganga's greatness. You see, so for it, even though it's a fish in Ganga, it will not get moksha because it's got no connectivity.
Mm.
It's just like that. Whereas a person who is a sadhaka, the moment he says Ganga, Ganga, itiyo bruyat, once a person says Ganga, Ganga, and he recites Ganga, even if he is 100 yojanas away, 100 miles away, okay, muchyate sarva papebhya, all papas go away from him. Vishnu lokam se gacchati. So I used to joke, we have Mississippi River in USA. All right, there is some other river, Nile in Egypt. Okay, or some other big river, in Europe. I forget the name of the river. Some river is there, or the yellow river in China. Everywhere it's got water, H2O, same. But can all this be equal to Ganga? Ganga is also H2O. But Ganga river is so powerful. If you're a sadhaka, you will come to know about it. It definitely washes sins in you. But you have to be a sadhana. You have to be in that marga to understand. Since we have moved away from the marga of the Sanatana way of life, we don't understand it. Doesn't have, it sort of doesn't have any impact, and we think everything should happen like instantaneously. That doesn't happen. It takes time. It's slow. It is arduous, and you have to be at it. So, since this is all difficult for everybody, they made a culture such that whether you don't know or know, somehow you are pushed in that direction. You see? हृदयकमलमध्ये दीपवत् Vedasaram. This shloka is basically, there is also a form where the pundra can be in the form of a jyoti. which you see as a part of a lamp. So that is also seen inside in their Anahata Chakra by the great yogis. Hriday Kamala Madhye Deepavat Vedasaram. So that is one important thing which I wanted to end. And there was one more shloka by which I want to add that shloka also to this podcast, which is Sahasrare Mahapadme Shivena Sahamodate Sahasrare Mahapadme Krishnena Sahamodate. Then there is one more important this thing. You can add this also. Tasya Shikaya Madhye Parama Atma Vyavasthitaha Sabrahma Sashivasendra Soksharaf Paramaswarat. This is a Veda shloka which says that Paramatma Shikha, he is in the Deepa Rekha, it's Paramatma Shikha form. So that also is adorned in the on your forehead by both women and men in our country. That form also is there. Regarding various
Paramatma
rupas
Shikha
or forms,
means, sorry,
Shikha means the Deepa Shikha means the Deepa Shikha is, you see the Deepa which has got a flame has got a particular shape, right? It comes out. That is called Deepa Shikha.
Okay.
Called Deepa Shikha. Tasya Shikaya Madhye. In that Shikha, inside that Shikha, Paramatma is visible. That Deepa Shikha which is visible inside in our Hridaya or in your Sahasrara Chakra, inside that the yogis see Paramatma.
Okay.
This is what is said in the Vedas.
Okay. Yeah,
And
I
in
think
fact,
that's
every day the great, the yatis or the sannyasis, also yogis, how do they wear their shikha, or how do they wear their lanchana or binda, or their bindi or what, pundra? Okay, they wear it in such a way. What do? They see their whatever they see inside. Deepa prakasham paramatmanam pashyan urdhva pundram dharayet yati lalate. Seeing the Deepa Prakasha Paramatman inside, they wear their pundra or their bindi or their bindu. Not seeing external mirror, the internal mirror of the Paramatman.
yes. Okay.
Shubham Bhuyat, Mangalam Bhuyat.
I think with that profound shloka, we can end this podcast. So, Bharatji, thank you so much for coming and explaining to us the really deep significance of something very worn very playfully, but has such a lot of significance and importance in our own evolution as persons to a higher plane. So, thank you very much for coming in and helping us understand better.
I wanted to thank you. I thank Shalini ji and Rekha ji for giving me this opportunity and this platform to express myself. And by doing this is for me a jnana yajna sort of thing. It's a yajna for myself. By doing this, I become more clear. I try it purifies me. So there is a big swartha for me for doing this. By this, if others can get some benefit, I am happy, and that all goes, and it is Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.
Thank you very much, Bharatji. To all our listeners, please do subscribe to us at hinduparenting.substack.com. We now have a website also. It's called hinduparenting.org. So the whole repository of what we've done so far is available both on the Substack platform as well as on our website. So please do visit our website. We are available on all social media platforms. We go by the handle Hindu Parenting. We are also available on podcast platforms. So whichever podcast platform is your favorite, you can catch us there. Thank you for listening in. And until the next time, namaste.